everybody, it's Honest John again. Now, if you ask anybody, I'm sure they would tell you that Al Capone was probably the most famous mobster or criminal in U.S. history. And I'm sure that the name Eliot Ness rings a bell too, because he was the FBI agent who was credited with bringing down Al Capone. But it wasn't really Ness. It was a forensic accountant named Frank Wilson. Despite Capone's penchant for extreme violence and his involvement with all kinds of illegal activities, including, alcohol, which was, this was the age of Prohibition, extortion, intimidation, murder. Nobody from law enforcement was able to lay a glove on him. For one thing, a lot of the cops, politicians, and even some judges were on Capone's payroll. And witnesses against Capone tended to either hightail it out of town or wind up dead. But Frank Wilson found some of Capone's books in an evidence locker from an unsuccessful case against him. And he started looking at the books. And then he found a bookkeeper, a fellow by the name of Leslie Shumway, who worked in a smoke shop that was a front for Capone's illegal gambling business. The feds pressured Shumway and later other accountants to provide information about Capone. In the end, Capone went to jail for tax evasion because he was making a lot of illegal money and he wasn't declaring it. And as far as the feds are concerned, they don't care if you make the illegal money, but you better declare it. Now, I'm sure Shumway was not the first witness that prosecutors ever flipped, nor will it be the last. It's standard procedure for law enforcement to bust low-level offenders and then using them as informants work their way up to the top of criminal organizations. It's been happening for years. They've brought down mafia kingpins, drug cartels, terrorists, and even some business executives using that formula. Like that's how they brought down the guy from Enron. And now they've got Donald Trump, the President of the United States, in their crosshairs. Now, leaving out for a moment Trump's conspiracy with the Russians, there's a lot of fertile ground for prosecutors to look at. After Trump's sixth bankruptcy, American banks and most legitimate investors decided that it just didn't make sense to keep doing business with Trump anymore. They're constantly losing money on him. So since the 1990s, Trump has been doing business with a lot less reputable figures. Many of them Russian oligarchs and even members of the Russian mafia. And now, in addition to flipping Michael Cohen, prosecutors have flipped Trump's chief financial officer, a fellow by the name of Alan Weisselberg. And this is why Trump is upset. Why he said in an interview on Fox News that flipping people should be illegal. So I guess Trump thinks that Al Capone got treated unfairly. And maybe it was unfair of us to kill Osama bin Laden because people were flipped in order to find out where he was located. Now, there is some debate about whether or not you can indict a sitting president. But Trump could face charges after he leaves office. And there is no doubt that Donald Jr. and Eric and Ivanka and a lot of people in Trump's inner circle can face charges for any crimes that they might be implicated in. Also, there is nothing to prevent criminal charges from being brought against Trump's businesses. You can charge a corporation or a business with illegal activity just like you can an individual. Which means that any money that Trump's businesses have made that is judged to be the result of illegal transactions can be confiscated by the government. And big old fines can be levied too. So when Trump leaves office, he's going to find his businesses under siege, many of them in ruins, and he's going to be a lot less rich than he is today. Ironically, if Trump had not decided to run for president, he might have been able to get away with laundering money for the Russians and ripping off investors and workers for the rest of his life. Thanks for listening. Hey, thanks for watching my videos. And I want you to keep on doing that. Just not on YouTube. If you look down in the description box, you're going to see 2 new links there. One is to my Patreon page, the other one is to a site called Top Buzz. Now on Top Buzz, they're letting me monetize my video and they're not even ads on them. So I'd like you to get in the habit of watching my videos there. Or you can go to my Patreon page, and if you want to become a supporter, that would be great. If you don't, you can still watch my videos there. But for me, YouTube is no longer worth bothering with. It's just a launching pad that I use to put my videos other places on the net. So I do want you to keep on watching my videos, but not on YouTube.